Hello and welcome to the Football Philosophy channel. United are away in Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena, 8 o'clock kick-off. It's live on BT Sport 2. Obviously a massive game, really looking forward to it. We just need the point. The team news is out, or I'm pretty confident it is. I've just had it through from somebody. I will have to check it. But just before that, I'd like to just mention that when we got this draw and we knew that we were in with PSG, who were last season's finalists, and we were in with Leipzig, who were last season's semi-finalists, and who were only a couple of points behind Bayern in the Bundesliga at the minute, I would have taken this. So as much as there's a bit of negativity around at the minute, if somebody would have said to me that it'll still be in our own hands come the last day of the group stages, I would have taken that. So obviously we made a great start. We won in Paris. We beat Leipzig at home 5-0. It's a little bit disappointing that we haven't put it to bed. We could have put it to bed by now by winning in Turkey or by just getting a point from PSG. But like I say, not only is it in our own hands, but the draw will do us as well. It's not like we've got to go there and win. The draw will do us. So the team news is out, as I say, or I'm pretty confident it is. So I'm going to go with what's been sent to me. And the team news is that De Gea starts in goal. He's gone with the back five, which I was predicting that yesterday. He's gone with Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, and Telles. Matic comes into the team. I'm pleased to see that Pogba has been left out after everything that's gone on. So McTominay and Matic are the two holding midfield players, if you like. Pogba sort of played that role at West Ham the other day. And then Bruno is the attacking midfield player, if you like, and it's Greenwood and Rashford up top. So what do we think about that? I'm not surprised at the back five. There was people thinking that Axel might have played there. I was pretty confident that Shaw would be playing. They've not taken him all that way out there. He's obviously been training. He's been fully fit for, obviously for the last couple of weeks. They don't take these players. They don't take these things lightly. When a player's been fully in training and obviously playing whatever they play, 5 sides, 8 sides, etc. So Shaw's obviously fit enough to start. Maybe some people might think that Axel should have started, but I'm pretty pleased it's Shaw. It gives the back four real balance. As I said, I think Lindelof will be to the right hand side of Maguire. This is how they do it when they play with a back five, and Shaw will be to the left hand side of Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka at right back and Telles at I call it right back and left back. People will be saying right wing back and left wing back. But at least when Telles can get forward, we've got a natural left-sided player who covers in the left-back spot, and then obviously Lindelof's right-sided. So when Wan-Bissaka gets forward, Lindelof will be covering in that position. It often becomes like a back four whenever United are attacking, really, if one of the full-backs gets forward or one of the wing-backs gets forward. So can we check that if that's the right team, by the way? I'm pretty sure it is. So Matic in the middle. I'm pleased that Matic is playing. If I'm dead honest, Matic is my favourite holding midfield player. The difficulty of that Ole seems to have getting him in the team recently is unbelievable. Like Fred plays there a lot, McTominay plays there a lot. At the weekend, I thought Matic might have played. It's crossed my mind, would Matic have been playing today anyway, or was Pogba? Was Pogba lined up to play today? Was he put into the West Ham team with the idea of him getting a game and then being fresh and ready to go and to play in this Leipzig game? Or was Matic always going to play? But we don't know the answer to that. Maybe we'll never know the answer to that. But I'm pretty pleased that it's Matic. Bit ironic, really, Fred getting sent off last week and being Fred's obviously suspended tonight. If Fred hadn't got sent off last week, look, if Fred hadn't got sent off last week, maybe we would have got the point we needed last week. We'll never know. But with Fred getting sent off in the situation we're in now, for me personally, I prefer the McTominay and Matic to be playing. So I do think we've got a strong line-up. We've got a back five. We've got 2 solid midfield players. Bruno works his socks off. He's got to know today that he's got to give as much application to his defensive duties as he does to his attacking duties. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Greenwood and Rashford up top. Anthony Martial missing. Obviously Cavani missing. Both took knocks on Saturday. Ole has said that they're not serious knocks. Expects them both really. Well, he didn't say this, but he said they're not serious knocks. So I'm assuming that means they might be ready for the derby match at weekend. Obviously, the big games are coming thick and fast now. So obviously it's Greenwood and Rashford up top. They both did okay in the end. Rashford did great. He came on as a sub at the weekend and did great. He looked electric on Saturday, Marcus. Greenwood grew into the game, ended up scoring a cracking goal. He looked more at home when he shifted into the centre, took his goal absolutely brilliantly. And his hold-up play looks a little bit better when he was at number 9 as well. He did get hold of the ball a few times and allow people to get further up and let us get a bit of pressure on the opposition. So I think Greenwood did do okay, but this is going to be a different kettle of fish. RB Leipzig, if you were a Leipzig fan or if you're a member of the Leipzig club, I'm sure you'd be thinking, just like we're thinking, we just need a point from this game. They will also be thinking, we've got one game, it's a home game, and we need to win that game, and that we will then be in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So they'll be feeling pretty confident as well. Make no mistake, they drew with Bayern Munich at the weekend. This is a really, really tough game, and no matter which team we would have fielded, it's always going to be a tough game. So no matter which team we would have fielded, we could have lost this game. Obviously, they're also capable of getting the draw or even the win. I don't think the win matters that much. PSG are almost certain to win their game against Başakşehir. If they win their game, they win the group. They've got a better head-to-head than us. PSG have got a better head-to-head than Leipzig. So long as they beat Başakşehir, I can't see them slipping up. They will win the group. So us winning the game, to me, isn't really that relevant. So long as we get the point that we need, we'll get through to the knockout stages, that'll do me. Obviously, we'll be second in the group. That often means you get a tough draw. Teams that come second in the group end up getting, obviously they draw teams that have won the group. That's how it has to be. You can get a little bit of luck. Sometimes in a group, it comes the other way round. Very occasionally, a team comes second that you think might win it. So you can get a little bit of luck in the draw, but you've really, you've got to expect that you're going to get a really tough draw when you come second. Now, that's if we come second at all, of course. But if we do come second, we've only got ourselves to blame. We threw it away in Turkey. You've got to get those 3 points away to Başakşehir. If we had those 3 points in the bag, we wouldn't have even needed the point against PSG last week. This is the situation we find ourselves in now. So we've got to get this point. Got to get this point. And I think he's set up in a defensive manner, really, with his back 5 and obviously McTominay and Matic just in front. But, with Bruno, Greenwood and Rashford, we've got goals in the team as well. We are going to, obviously, we're going to try and play on the break at times. But I don't think it's particularly defensive in that manner. I'm often saying I think we were playing with too many attackers. If you look back earlier in the season, when we were getting beat regularly by teams, we were starting when we got beat by Spurs, when we got beat by Palace, we had 3 up top. We had Greenwood, we had Martial, we had Rashford, plus we had Bruno joining in. Bruno, for me, is more of an attacking midfield player than he is a defensive midfield player. We were often left short in midfield with 4 attack-minded players in the team. And I've said often on the United stand, anybody who's watched me on the United stand, that it's too many attackers. So I don't really look at this as a defensive lineup. I look at this as a sensible lineup. We've got 2 proper strikers, and we've got somebody who's going to join in from midfield, and I think that's more than enough. Obviously, set pieces, your centre backs are going to come forward. Obviously, your wing backs are also going to come forward in open play. So I don't think it's necessarily a defensive lineup. I think it's a lineup that can get goals. We may only need one to get the draw. It's up to us to defend properly. We don't want to let 2 in. We need to get this point, and I don't care if it's 0-0 or 1-1, and I don't really care if we score a goal or not. So long as we get that point, I'd be quite happy with 0-0. Any questions coming through yet?
Yeah. Kevin McHugh, how do you feel about McTominay and Matic together, Ricky?
Over the moon with it, absolutely over the moon. I don't think they've been paired together, and people might start saying, yeah, but look how that went. I don't think they've been paired together since we played West Ham away last season, which I think was in October or November of last season. So I think it's over 12 months, that since McTominay and Matic have played together. Now, you might say that's a bad omen. We got beat 2-0. But that team was not a strong team that we had out that day. It really wasn't. I was about to say Marshall was missing, but Marshall's missing again today. We do often struggle to hold the ball up when Marshall's not there. Tonight's a different type of game, though. That particular game against West Ham, also Pereira played in that game. I mean, I'm a big fan of Juan Mata played in that game. The team really that day was it wasn't really a strong team that we had out at West Ham. I don't think we got beat 2-0 because McTominay and Matic were playing. And I'm pretty confident that's the last time they both started in the same team. I think they're both big, strong midfield players who can win the ball in the air. You know, they're sensible players. They don't bomb all over the pitch. They keep their position. McTominay's got more energy, obviously. He's the younger man. But I think McTominay and Matic can do a great job tonight. I really do. And if we get beat, by the way, it's not necessarily their fault. I've said, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, these are a top side. No matter which lineup we were to field tonight, we could easily get beat. So let's just get behind the lads, whoever's playing. Well, we now know who's playing. Let's get behind the lads. I think they can do the job.
The Red Devils asking, Marshall's ability to win a foul and hold the ball up when we're under the cosh is so important. Do you worry about that with Rashford and Greenwood?
100% I do. It's a great question. When we are under the caution, we will spend a lot of time tonight defending. Marshall's absolutely class at getting the ball to him and winning. He takes a touch and he gets his body there. And I think sometimes I see Marcus playing as a number 9 and I see him give it back either to the player who's give it to him or maybe to a different defender a little bit too quickly rather than taking a touch. If you take a touch, win that free kick, you're dead right, Marshall is class at it. And it's an important part of the game that so many people don't realise how important it is and don't realise how good Anthony Marshall is at that part of the game. So Greenwood held it up well. He impressed me a couple of times against West Ham the other day. Took a nice, strong, firm touch and kept his body there and laid it off. Maybe Greenwood can do that job. I don't expect him to be able to do it as well as Anthony Marshall.
While you're on that, Lawrence Hughes asked, what does Greenwood have to work on?
Well, normally I would say that, but it looked better. It did look better at the weekend. I feel sorry for him a little bit, Mason, in that he gets played on the wing a lot. If he is going to continue to, I mean, obviously with these injuries, I fancy tonight it's going to be like a split striker thing. So he still might spend a bit of time wide because I've got a sneaky feeling Bruno's going to be the one who's going through the middle a bit, breaking from midfield. You might find Greenwood still a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. But when we play with a proper striker and Mason's on the right, which is pretty often, he needs to work at getting the ball into the box and needs to get it out of his mind that he's going to try. I can see when Mason gets the ball, he's thinking about getting a shot in. He needs to try and get his shots in when the opportunity's there rather than having to manufacture the opportunities. His goal at the weekend, you might say he manufactured it himself, but he's in front of the goal. When that ball comes to him at the weekend, he knows it's a chance that if he gets it under control, and he does it brilliantly, by the way, but you've got to appreciate that when the ball comes to him, no matter how difficult it was, he still was directly in front of the goal. Fantastic goal though it was, he was in a position where it's worthwhile taking a shot on. When he's picking the ball up in the channels, he's got to get it out of his mind that he might get a shot off. Just pass it or get it across, get himself in the box.
Hairdryer treatment, I think Soph's in the house.
Soph, hi Soph.
Hey Ricky, I'm feeling nervous. Thoughts on VDB being sub again?
I gutted for the lad. I can't tell you how gutted I am. I actually thought one of the teams that I wrote out today, I wrote out 2 or 3 different teams, and I thought he might have gone with just one forward. I thought he might have gone with VDB, McTominay and Matic, plus Bruno sort of just in front of him, and then Rashford just in front of Bruno. I thought he might have done that. I don't blame him for doing what he's done, no. I think, I'm certain it's right that McTominay's playing. I'm certain it's right that Matic is playing. Obviously, Bruno's got to play. And I just think maybe Greenwood or Rashford could have stood out. We could have gone a bit sturdier in midfield. But if we're going to stick with this shape, it does have to be VDB that steps out. I'm gutted, Soph, but there you go.
few people coming in with questions about the Luke Shaw situation. So BL Gamer asking, do you think he'll play at left back from now on? Ben Huntley, happy to see Luke Shaw back, makes us better defensively and an all-round good defender. And Preem Prodigy, do you like Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-half in a back three? Probably go at all them at once.
Yeah, I can't remember them all. You might have to go back on.
Yeah, so I like it. So Preem Prodigy, do you like Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-half in a three?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think he's been rushed back?
Possibly. We don't know. I've just said that as I was leading into it, that he must surely be fit. You know, a big club like Man United, it's not like you're running a Sunday League team where you're saying, oh, are you okay? Are you sure you're going to be all right? He must have been through so many tests. He must have covered so much ground in training. He's got to be ready. Wouldn't surprise me if it's going really well, if we happen to be a goal up or something. It wouldn't surprise me to see him get rested towards the end. But, I mean, that's jumping the gun. We might well be right under the cosh and struggling like mad till the death. But they must be convinced that he's fine. Must be.
Someone coming, Jacob Robinson. What a cowardly lineup. Man United are pathetic.
I'm not sure about that. It might be a sensible lineup for me. We've used a very similar lineup in wins last season against City and against Chelsea. I'm not sure it's a cowardly lineup. Look, football's developed into the game that it is today, and it takes all sorts. And you need to be able to play different systems. This is a really tough game. I could understand that comment a little bit more if we had the likes of Martial and Cavani, but we have not even really got the manpower to play in a different formation, I don't think.
And you've also got to realise the objective tonight. We don't need to win.
We don't need to win, no.
We're here not to get beat.
We are here not to get beat. But that's what his point is, I think, though, isn't it? He's thinking that we've gone there not to get beat. I'll be dead honest, I haven't got a problem with that. So long as we don't get beat, I haven't got a problem with it.
And a hell of a lot of people asking about the Pogba situation. Would you like to see James Checkley? Would you like to see Pogba in the United shirt again? Tahim Chowdhury. Opinions on Pogba, Ricky, Rahul Krishna. What's your thoughts on the Pogba situation? So lots of interest in what you think on what's going on with Paul Pogba.
I'm devastated what's gone on. I really can't grasp it. It's just astonishing. And we mentioned this earlier about Jamie Carragher, what he said, and I said before earlier today. It's difficult to disagree with what he said in that, you know, it's such a big statement. The what's he called, Mino Raiola, he couldn't put that statement out without agreeing it with his client. I'm really positive of that, and that's what Carragher said on Monday Night Football last night. I hate agreeing with Carragher, but I've got to agree with this. He must have known about it, and if he knows about that and he's sanctioned that, it's nothing short of disgraceful. And I don't know if there's going to be. Is he on the bench? I'm not actually checked. Maybe someone could tell us in the comments. Is he actually on the bench? Is he even out of the? You know, it wouldn't surprise me if they've not even included. He's on the bench. So
the bench is Henderson, Grant, Bailey, Fosu Mensah, Twanzebe, Williams, James, Lingard, Mata, Pogba, Van der Beek and Igalo.
Right, so he's on the bench, but I think you probably find there's 12 subs there. I noticed there was 12 subs last week, and they can use 5 of them. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to use him. But yeah, you know, all I can say is that I agree with what Carragher said, and that he must have known about it. And I'll be dead honest, if he's sanctioned somebody saying all that now, I'm not bothered whether I see him in a United shirt again. I'm sorry to say.
The Red Devils, where's the weakness in this team?
The weakness in this team. That's a great question. That's what they'll be thinking.
Centre forward, we're going to struggle to hold it up.
Yeah. I think you've got a good point. Yeah, because at the back five, I'm dead happy with the back five. I'm happy with the midfield. So yeah, I think maybe that is it. But it's going to be. I think it's going to be more a game where we're going to try and use Rashford's pace on the break, because somebody's already asked us. I can't remember who asked us, but somebody's asked us about are we going to miss Martial's hold-up play? And really speaking, that's one of the things that we are going to miss. And in a game like this, it will be vital. Let's hope they can do. Like I say, let's hope they can do the job, and let's hope we can also hit them on the break rather than having to hit it to feet and hold it up.
Sean Brennan, would you have played 5 at the back tonight?
I don't blame him for playing 5 at the back tonight, and I'm not concerned about it. I probably would like to have gone like 4-4-1-1. I think it's equally defensive. It's equally defensive, or equally solid, however or equally sensible. I'd rather use that phrase. It's equally sensible. A back 4 with a 4 in front. I have lots of people saying to me that it's old-fashioned. You're a dinosaur. It's not 4-4-2 anymore, or 4-4-1-1. I don't agree. When teams play 4-2-3-1. Usually 2 of the 3 are wingers who have got to check back with the full-backs. It's just when you're defending, it becomes 4-4-2. So I wouldn't have minded us playing 4-4-2 with a solid back 4 and a solid line of 4, which I wouldn't include Marcus Rashford, by the way, as a wide left player. Well, we couldn't tonight because we haven't got another forward, I suppose. I think I'd have had Bruno at 10, Rashford at 9, and then a solid midfield, probably McTominay, Matic. It's a bit of a struggle with him. I probably would. Look, he's not played enough games, but I wouldn't have minded Dan James on the left. Dan James tracks back. He's fit. He's rapid.
Well, he's a midfield player.
He's a midfield player. Yeah.
This is something I think a lot of people seem to forget. Is that when people talk about a balanced team, you're talking about the balance of defensive players or the players that are dedicated to defensive and midfield work versus attacking players. It's that balance.
Yeah.
And if you look back to our great teams over the years, particularly like the 99 team, you played 4-4-2. And it was 4 defenders and 4 dedicated midfield players. Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, David Beckham were dedicated midfield players.
Correct.
For all of their attacking attributes.
Yes.
They were midfield players, and then we had 2 forwards.
Yeah.
In today's team, you could argue that we've got 3 forwards in Bruno, Greenwood and Rashford.
Yeah.
So versus some of the better teams, we're slightly balanced more in the favour of attack than we have been in our
better
teams.
Yeah. I agree 100%. As much as Paul Scholes scored loads of goals, he was a proper midfield player. He was always behind the ball when necessary.
Is a good question. Ben Huntley. Do you think if it goes well tonight, we'll see a similar lineup on Saturday in the derby, especially if Shaw gets through without an injury?
Yes, Ben, I would imagine we would. Yeah, it worked against City. Certainly in the derby match. I think when we beat them at the Etihad last season, I think we did. We only played with a back 4, but certainly in the big games later in the season, we played with a back 5, and Shaw was one of those back 5. So yeah, if it goes well tonight, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, obviously Marshall might be fit or Cavani might be fit. You don't know if he might change a forward, perhaps. But I do think it'll be a back 5 again. It might be a back 5 whether it goes well tonight or not, Ben, to be honest.
MG, thoughts on Dalot playing well in Italy?
I like Dalot. I do like him, but he is particularly good going forward. He's chalk and cheese compared to Wan-Bissaka. Where everybody talks about Wan-Bissaka's defensive strengths, people talk more about Dalot's attacking strengths. And we just spoke about 4-4-2. To me, Dalot would be a perfect player to play as the wide right man in a 4-4-2, where your wide players have got to be aware of the defensive roles more so than they have, or at least as much as they have about their attacking roles. And I think he's playing right back mainly, but I think they're playing with a back 3 though, so he's like a wing back, I think, for AC Milan, Dalot. But that suits him as well, probably, I'm sure. Anything else?
Yeah, few coming through. On here, Rahul Krishna. Which player would you bring back if you could from the 99 lineup?
You've got to say Roy Keane, haven't you? But that 99 lineup was absolutely unbelievable. So many of those players would make a fantastic bonus for this team. I loved. I mean, obviously, a lot of people say that we're short defensively, and we need a new centre back. I've not seen a better centre back than Jaap Stam, so maybe you could say Jaap Stam. Maybe you could say Roy Keane, not just a great player, but he gets everybody else playing better as well. And then also my favourite. I mean, I love that number 10 role. I love a proper number 10. Me and Dwight York. Dwight York's one of my favourite players ever. I would love to see Dwight York as a young man again and fitting into this team. He'd be absolutely brilliant.
Sure, Sean Hammett. Ricky, did you take the missus out for your anniversary?
No, it's we're in tier 3 here, aren't we? So no.
As Elliot, are you still Ollie out, Ricky?
Obviously, I was seething last week, and I did say on there on the United stand after the game that he needs to go after not taking Fred off. Look, I think we said on the night. I think Flex said to me on the night, "You're just seething because of what's happened tonight." And to answer your question, look, I won't be. If we can get through tonight, no, he gets another chance if you like. But I will say, and I will not forget it for a long time. Not taking Fred off after he'd been booked in 20 minutes, and I don't want to go over it all again. For any people that haven't watched and seen what I've said, there's just too. Some people said, yeah, but you sometimes get a player booked in 20 minutes, yeah, but not a player like Fred, who's likely to get booked again, who's always going into challenges, who's actually on the field to win challenges. Plus, you've got 5 subs. It's not like you're making a sub out of your only 3 subs like you do in a league game. And plus, you've got the likes of Matic and Van der Beek on the bench and Pogba on the bench. It's not like you're having to weaken your side so much. There's just so many things wrong about not substituting Fred that day. There's nothing short of amateurish. It really was amateurish. And I'm not speaking in hindsight. I sent tweets out. No sooner did he get booked, I sent a tweet out saying he's got to come off him immediately. And then I tweeted it again at half time. So I'm not speaking in hindsight. It was absolutely amateurish, and I won't forget it for a long time.
Jonas Hove here, a good question. Ask Ricky if he could make his all-time United 11. I think it's probably an idea for a full show that at some point, a live show.
Yeah, we can do a show with about that. Yeah, great question. No, let's name 2 or 3 who'll walk in it. Jaap Stam will walk in it. Roy Keane will walk in it, and then from the old days, I'll tell you the toughest job. When you see, I'll just say this. Sorry, who's asked this question?
Jonas Hove.
Jonas, one of the toughest things, and I often see people naming the best all-time United 11, the best all-time Premier League 11, the best all-time World 11, European 11, all sorts of things. Without any exception, you hardly ever, won't say without any, but virtually without exception, you see people trying to shoehorn people into positions because you've got a great striker and you want to fit him in, but you've got another great striker, so you put one of them on the left wing. I would not work like that. I would always pick a team that's balanced. So the toughest job that I would have, and I would just literally have to toss a coin, I think, would be picking between Sir Bobby Charlton and Paul Scholes. That's the highest compliment that I can pay Scholes. But picking between Sir, because I wouldn't pick them both, because you're going to have to put one of them out of position. And I'm always saying about this team, don't pick somebody out of position. Put somebody in the position that's his best. And for an attacking midfield player, if I've ever seen one better than Sir Bobby, then it was Paul Scholes. If he was better.
Sean Byrne, Ricky, if we go 1 down, what changes would you make to the team and when would you make them?
If we go 1 down,
yeah.
I wouldn't change it for at least 20.
It depends when you go.
It depends when you go 1 down, of course. But I would hope that you're 1 down at the most with 20 minutes to go. There's no point throwing caution to the wind at 1 down. If say at half time, I don't think so. You can still get that goal. I wouldn't start chasing the game until 15 or 20 minutes to go. You don't want to play into their hands and go 2-0 down and then you're out of it completely. So I wouldn't say too early, not too early.
The Red Devil is asking constantly here, what's the best goal you've ever seen live?
The best goal I've ever seen live? I'll tell you one that I didn't see. I'll tell you what, it's got
to be 99, hasn't it? It's got to be 99.
Yeah. I was there, yeah. I mean, it wasn't, there was no...
It's got a great goal. It's the best goal, isn't it?
I was actually there, and I hate doing this, but I left early the day... If you see Beckham's goal at Wimbledon, was it against Wimbledon or was it against Palace? But it was at Wimbledon. Yeah. He scored from his own half, and if you check that out, I'm pretty sure it was like 88, 89 minutes, and I'd just left. So there's one that I didn't see, but I was at the match. Best goal I've ever seen live. I'll just throw 2 out there. Scholes' goal against Barcelona in the semi-final at Old Trafford. And his volley against Villa that hit the underside of the bar and bounced down. But look, if I have a good think about it, I'd probably think of a few others as well. But there's a couple to be going at.
Ricky, if you had to meet one out of Matic and Mata, who would it be?
I'd have to toss a coin. If you no, they probably want me to answer, don't they? Look, they both seem like perfect gentlemen, but I'd love to meet Juan Mata. I think, yeah.
Has Maguire impressed you, Rick?
He's come on a treat. Anybody who's followed me on the United stand will know that I used to get stuck right into him. I don't mind admitting when I've made a mistake. And I mean, I wasn't tearing into him early this season. Early this season, when everyone was tearing into him, we weren't playing with enough defensive players. The defence was getting absolutely shot to pieces by fans, but they were getting shot to pieces by the likes of Spurs and Crystal Palace because we had too many attacking players in the lineup.
It's that balance.
It's the balance.
About.
You've got to have,
yeah, players and not enough midfielders and defenders.
Yeah, simple as that.
So it sounds schoolboy, but that really was what we were doing.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Joshua Harper, Rick, do you think Rashford is a long-term problem for United?
If he can play like he played on Saturday, funnily enough, we were discussing this the other day. I thought he was brilliant on Saturday. He was also brilliant when he came off the bench against Leipzig. So I'm not joking. I think his two best performances so far this season have been when he's come on as a sub. And I honestly don't think he was playing well last week. I don't think he played well against PSG. I don't think he played very well at Southampton. But yeah, he's done great coming off the bench. A long-term problem. Look, for me, Martial's a better number 9. Obviously, Cavani's a number 9, but I don't think Cavani will be. You know, he's not got the same time left in his game as he that Martial's got in his game. And I don't particularly think Marcus is a great left winger. Although he's going to do well sometimes. He's obviously got ability, he's got pace, but he's not consistent enough. So if we want to be a team like we've had in the past that can challenge for league titles consistently and challenge for the Champions League consistently, I would say yes, it would be a problem fitting Marcus in the team.
Jack Berens, what makes you think Matic and McTominay are a better partnership than either, along with Fred, apart from height?
Apart from height, well, they both got slightly different attributes. The main thing with McTominay compared to Fred is simply that he is bigger and stronger. McTominay has got very similar attributes to Fred, i.e. He can get about the park well, he's fit, energetic, make a lot of challenges. But obviously McTominay's got 2 or 3 things on Fred. He is taller, he can win headers, and winning headers is important. A lot of people don't realise how important it is. But he's also a bit of a goal threat, McTominay. Fred can hardly ever score a goal. I mean,
he never seems to get any power in his shots.
No, his shots are too weak. Yeah, he just doesn't even threaten the goal usually when he has a shot. Whereas, McTominay almost scored at West Ham. I can't remember Fred having. Look, I'm probably wrong, but I can't remember Fred having a shot as good as that. Even though he didn't score at the weekend, he just went a foot wide. But I think he got 4 league goals last season, McTominay. He's got a bit of a goal threat about him, which is a bonus from a midfield player who's a defensive style player. And I just think McTominay's better than Fred. And then with Matic, as a central defensive midfield player, he brings a calmness to the team. I think Matic is better than both McTominay and Fred. So that's why I think that combination is better. I think Matic is the best player of the 3, and I think McTominay is the second best player of the 3. So that's it.
While we're on McTominay, Christian Schaller asking, what do you think of Scott McTominay? Do you think he can develop into an even better player if he gets more game time?
Possibly. His passing lets him down a bit too often. I noticed at the weekend that a couple of passes out to Telles were too strong and went into touch. I also noticed him try and turn a ball around the corner into a forward's feet, and he missed the target by a couple of yards. He has got to smarten up on his passing without a doubt, but I do believe it's possible. And look, I don't know what goes on in training, but I've never seen a better passer of the ball than Michael Carrick. I'm talking about accurate passes into people's feet. I've never seen a better passer of the ball than Michael Carrick. Surely he can be teaching him. Surely.
Jake Minton, do you think that you need a left-footed and a right-footed centre-back partnership, or do you think that it doesn't necessarily matter if we want to be serious title contenders?
If you've got top players, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. No. If you've got top centre backs, and can play right or left, and sometimes the one who's on the right, who's on the left, if he's right-footed, he hits good balls out to the left back or out to the left winger with his right foot. So there's pros and cons. I'm not too bothered. I do like a right foot and a left foot, but I don't think it's vitally important.
Would you have started Matic today, Rick?
Look, I've got a favourite team in mind. I like 4-4-2, and I like my two wide players to work back. I like us to have a solid four in front of the four, and it isn't defensive. They also get forward. Mata passes the ball well. I would like Mata to be in the team on a regular basis. He's not in the team on a regular basis, and because of that, I wouldn't have thrown him into the deep end. If he'd played the last 6 games in a row, or 4 or 5 of the last 7, something like that, then I wouldn't have minded him playing. But I'm not sure I'd have thrown him in the deep end when he's not playing so much.
Another question on Freddie from Jack Berens. Do you think Freddie's comparable with Kante in their game styles? Interestingly, he's put maybe not quality.
Yeah, I think he's 100% right. Yeah, he's got a similar style, but I don't look. It'd be an exaggeration to say he was after player Kante is. Kante's look. I watched Kante when he was playing next to Pogba for France the other week against Portugal. He's just different class, Kante.
Yeah,
absolutely different class, but similar style. Yeah,
it's funny that they're both the same height, and yet Kante seems to be so much stronger.
He's a strong lad. Yeah, he's a really strong lad, and he wins more balls more easily. I know Fred wins balls, but Kante seems to be able to win the ball and keep it and pass it a bit better.
Sensei Sama, what's your honest thoughts on Alex Telles?
Decent so far. I'm glad we've signed him. Proper solid. To me, he's a backup to Luke Shaw from what I've seen so far. You need to see players more than 2 or 3 times. What I've seen of him so far, though, I would say he's a backup to Luke Shaw. And if Shaw remains fit now, and obviously Shaw's playing centre back tonight, if Shaw remains fit, once we go back to a back 4, I'll be surprised if it's not Shaw who keeps that place.
Shogun United with a comment there. Gary Pallister to Steve Bruce was a great pairing. That's one of my favourites.
Yeah, both right-footed.
Yeah. Joshua Harper, Rick, you channel his football philosophy, but which current manager has the best football philosophy?
Current manager in the Premier League, I suppose, is he thinking about?
Not narrow it down to that, but it's always difficult to assess other managers. You only really get to know what their philosophy is when you watch them at close quarters and see the types of decisions that they make, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be Pep Guardiola. I would say passing and moving and passing and keeping the ball. But Liverpool play in a similar sort of way. They want to keep the ball as much as they can. I like teams that keep the ball well, and I think they both try and keep the ball well.
Lawrence Hughes, what was your opinion on Ronnie Johnsen?
Fantastic. The Iceman, they used to call him in Norway. Absolutely fantastic player, underrated for me. When United let him go, he went to Aston Villa and he went on a pay per play contract, I believe. I mean, obviously he was on some sort of wage as well if he wasn't fit, but nothing like the wages he was on. I think he was anyway. I think he was on basically a pay per play contract. So if you fit, because he was having injury problems, but I think he played quite a few games for Villa, 80, 90, maybe even 100 games, and he was that good, Ronnie Johnsen. If they could do that deal with him, I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't just come to the same argument and us give him a deal like that. We should have kept him longer.
Yeah. The Red Devils. Ricky, do you truly believe we will ever be consistent title contenders under Ole?
Truly believe it? No. Hopefully, yes. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, look, it's going to be difficult, but it can happen that one day we will have a team similar to what we've had in the past, where we're right up there, winning it a couple of times in 3 or a couple of times in 4 and coming second or third on the other occasions. It can come again. It will come again. We're a big, massive club, absolutely massive club. It goes in cycles. We will have our time again. But I think it'd probably be after Ollie's time when we do get like that. What time is it now? How are we doing for time? We don't want to be missing kick-off. We seem to be going on.
Yeah, 40 minutes here. I think we better bring it to an end.
Right, okay. One more question. Is there one on the screen? Last question. No.
Ricky, will you be back at Old Trafford when it opens back up again?
I hope so. Yeah, there's rumours that we might have tickets for the Leeds game, isn't there? There might be fans for the Leeds games. Yeah. Leeds at Old Trafford. So hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
Let's bring it to an end.
Okay, thanks very much. Hope you've enjoyed that little show. We'll try and do it again. Who've we got a weekend? Oh, it's derby match at weekend, isn't it? Is it a 5:30 kickoff Saturday? I think it's 5:30 Saturday. So we'll be back. It seems to be going well. People seem to like it. So we'll be back at if it's a 5:30 game, which I think it is, about 4:15 on Saturday. Massive game. Desperate for the points. Don't care how we get them. If it's a 0-0 draw tonight, I'll be absolutely more than happy. No problem whatsoever. If you enjoyed that little show, please subscribe. Tell all your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, don't tell anyone. Keep stum.